Funny that all of these things are lumped under one label, drugs. I come from a sort of a peasant family. Both my parents were farmers and were just immigrants, basically. And when my mother found out that I was in California, that I took drugs, it broke her heart. And there was no way that I could explain to her what it was I was doing, because that word drug just had such an impact on her mind that it was about the worst thing what her firstborn son could ever do. And it was just, it was one of the saddest things in my life that I could not explain to Mom what it was I was doing. Mom was a very religious person. She went to Catholic church every day, and I could not find a way to tell her that I was doing the same thing that she was doing. And I still, would not know how to tell Mom, what the difference was between her going to church and me taking entheogens, searching for God through chemicals.
There's no such thing as a bad drug, right? Because a drug is just a drug. It's a substance with certain properties. It has no moral qualities. The only thing that has moral qualities is human behavior. And there is lots of bad human behavior with respect to drugs. And there's lots of bad human behavior with respect to all kinds of things, and good human behavior too. I mean, again, this comes back to, the context. So the whole war on drugs idea and the idea, it has nothing to do with protecting people from toxic substances. If that were the purpose of the war on drugs, tobacco and alcohol, would be prohibited tomorrow. And yet the structure of the law, not that prohibition would do any good, and I'm not advocating that, right? But if that were really the agenda for drug control, they would say, well, these are clearly the most harmful drugs. These are the ones that are killing the most people, so they should be strictly regulated. But in fact, the way the law is set up, the FDA is not even allowed to classify tobacco and alcohol as a drug.